Hi everyone, it's James here from TSR Jivey Talks Tech. Back at NAMM 2024 in January at the press-only preview drinks bash, the very important presentation thing, Paul and I got to see the new Positive Grid Spark Live, a new, bigger, more powerful, more I/O-rich version of the Spark 40 amp, and I think I can say we both liked what we saw and heard. A little backstory, if I may. Paul and I both bought with our own money the Spark 40. Paul made some content for it, and thanks to Positive Grid for all their feedback and thanks, which never came about all the work he put in. You can find those videos on the main Studio Rats channel. And with mine, well, I used it as a barbecue speaker in the garden. Paul has since sold his, and I still have mine in the bag because I'm a hoarder and I can't sell anything. Well, that's not quite true, but I do still have my Spark 40 for moments when we have socials in the garden. However, since I saw the Spark Live at NAMM, I instantly wanted one. Even after Paul and I were totally ignored at the Positive Grid booth on the last day of the show, I was still prepared to part with hard-earned cash, which I did. I also paid for the optional battery, which can provide up to 7 hours of power cable-free operation. I did get in quite early on the pre-sale, and eventually the battery turned up, and then the Spark Live itself. And we're off and running. So what is Spark Live? Well, it turns out that at NAMM even, the team at Positive Grid were not quite sure what they had. I was even told by one of the staff on the Positive Grid stand at the drinks event, the presentation, that Spark Live had a 400 watt amp in it, and this is just not the case, it's 150 watts. While Spark Live is still a great barbecue speaker, and now there's no need for a power cable, which is a bonus in my book, I jest, sorry Positive Grid, I'll get off that one. However, in a great deal of their marketing, it says that Spark Live is a powerful PA with inputs for guitar, bass, vocals, and line level instruments like keyboards and drum machines. Yes, this is true. Spark Live features a 4-channel mixer, and one of those channels has balanced XLR input. Sadly, no phantom power available on the mic pre. However, the guitar and bass processing and presets are only available on channel 1. So it's guitar or bass, really. There is some bass processing on channel 2, but no amp models. That said, Spark Live does give a killer bass tone with plenty of bottom end. This box shifts some serious air. There are some additional effects models, but most of the amps and cab emulations have been ported over from the previous Spark Live amps. These sound good, but they are a little lacking in dynamics. Hit it hard and the amp models and effects sound great. Ease off or pull back the guitar volume and they sound, well, thin at best. So we have channel 1 for guitar or bass and channel 2 for mic input or a vocal or an acoustic guitar. It's a combo XLR jack after all. And yes, to be fair, I can get a good bass tone out of channel 2. That leaves us with channels 3 and 4, which are a stereo pair of 1/4-inch jacks. So yes, technically it is a 4-channel amp, but in the real world where marketing spin does not apply, it's 3 channels. One of them just happens to be a stereo pair. Does it sound like I'm ranting yet? Sorry if it does. I'm nearly done. The control and input for channels 2 and 3, or should that be 2 and 3 and 4, are on the back panel, along with the master volume and master EQ. Don't use the master EQ, just don't. We also have a stereo output, so you can, if you wish, send the stereo output from Spark Live off to a bigger PA, or you can record the output in stereo, as I am. We also have MIDI I/O, which can be used for patch changes, so I'm told, but it's probably for use when Spark Live is being your audio interface to work alongside your PC or Mac with a DAW. Yes, Spark Live is also an audio interface, much like the Spark 40. Connect it to your PC or Mac using the USB-C port on the back, and you have a multi-channel audio interface, which is cool. We also have a charging port, so if your phone or iPad, which you really do need to make the most of your Spark Live user experience, is low on charge, then you can bring it back to life from the internal battery, which is optional. Did I mention that? Okay, so we can get over the connectivity claims versus reality, and I'm fine with that. For garden jams or coffee shop gigs, this is all I'm ever going to need. Let's talk about how it looks, and I think it looks really cool. When Line 6 brought us the Amplify range back in the year of our Lord 1860, they tried to design a guitar amp that would receive SAF, or the Spousal Approval Factor. Well, they failed. Sorry, Line 6. Not only did it look like a storage heater from 1978, but it also sounded like a storage heater from 1978. With Spark Live, and all the Spark range in fact, Positive Grid have nailed the aesthetics. The Tolex and the piping make it look like a class amp. The rubber corners and feet are solid, yet forgiving to wooden floors. The handles and other hardware feel great. Spark Live could be just as happy on the road or in the living room. Spark Live has a thought about it feel, if you know what I mean. It didn't just happen by accident. There are lots of nice features, like the kickstand, which can be used to angle the Spark Live back into a monitor configuration in both vertical and horizontal setup. It even works vertically with the power cable in, no bent IECs at Positive Grid. The stand-stroke pole mount is handy, so if you were using it live, you can get it nice and high, so you're not sending all that lovely clear sound into your audience's jeans. Horizontal or vertical, the new smart tweeters apparently know the orientation of the Spark Live and can alter the stereo image accordingly, so it says in the blurb. To be honest, I've tried going between horizontal and vertical while music's playing and I can't hear a difference. It sounds good in both orientations, but is horizontal wider and vertical taller? I can't tell. For those late night jams or afternoon barbecue sets, Spark Live has Bluetooth audio connectivity and can work alongside Xsonic Audio's U-Looper for when you feel your inner Ed Sheeran or KT Tunstall bursting to break out. Check out the video for the U-Looper on the main Studio Rex channel. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, volume and processing. There are some interesting claims about the audio processing that are contained inside Spark Live that at best sound like overinflated marketing twaddle and at worst sound like complete BS. As Mark Hamill said of the script of Star Wars A New Hope, you can write this stuff, but you just can't say it. And I quote, Sonic ID. Sonic ID, our revolutionary computational audio engine, merges advanced signal processing and acoustic engineering to enhance sound quality in a variety of settings. It delivers precise, immersive audio experiences and a clear, deep tonal range. Spark Live's innovative sound is powered by a dedicated computational audio chip, enabling it to dynamically adapt to different inputs and placements. The result is a powerful, compact powerhouse, perfect for musicians who need portability without compromise. Spark Live redefines big sound with its versatile G sensor, which detects the amp's orientation and placement, automatically adapting to its environment and tuning its EQ for optimal sound. Place it vertically for a focused, punchy output, or turn it to the side for wide, expansive stereo effects. I'll leave that there. You can read the rest of this garb on the Positive Grid website. Back in the day when I was in pub bands, back in the deepest, darkest, small Suffolk town of Ipswich, look it up, it won't take long, a great many of the bands used to gig with 150 watt Carlsbro mixer amp heads and 150 watt 10-inch speaker with piezo tweeters speakers. And it sounded shocking. But hey, those were what we had, and vocals, who needs to hear vocals? Positive Grid has said that Spark Live can take on a full drum kit. Well, Paul and I have tried it. Take a look. Sorry about the audio, it's straight from the cameras, but I think you get the idea. Rehearsal ready? Yes. Gig ready? Maybe not. The greatest busking amp of all time? Hell yes. Coffee shop acoustic duos? Every day of the week. As your practice amp in the studio? Oh yeah. But taking on a drummer at full tilt? No. Just no. I will say that unlike the Spark 40, Spark Live has the speakers to take on every channel pushed all the way up, the master volume on the music volume and channel 1 guitar volume all the way up, and the speakers and amp just keep on taking it with no distortion or unwanted nastiness. Spark Live took the punishment we gave it, putting out a very respectable 98 dB on my studio's SPL meter. In the UK, that's enough to trip the sound meter in a lot of small venues. That says more about what live music in the UK has become than anything else, I think. All I've done in this video so far is slate the Spark Live, and you must think I hate it, which I really don't. I think it's fantastic. What has, however, annoyed me is the marketing claims made by Positive Grid. Short of curing the next global pandemic, you'd think this thing was a game changer, and it's not. It's a really great portable PA with good connectivity and processing for guitar, bass, vocals and other stuff. And that's enough. It does not have to be able to cure bubonic plague because it's an MI product. No one in their right minds is going to put this thing into a pub that has rock bands and expect it to be the PA because it's not built for that. So stop trying to tell us that it is. Spark Live is a really good product. It's been well thought out. All the boxes are ticked, and I'll use it all the time for demos, small events, and stuff where I need to just rock up and go, even as a PA for public speaking at conferences, etc. It's perfect. So there you have it, my first online rant in quite a while. Sorry, Positive Grid, you've made something truly brilliant and I love it, but please throw away whichever marketing handbook you're using. It's not helping your cause one little bit. So I really hope you enjoyed that, whatever it was. If you did, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all the normal stuff to be kept up to speed with all future videos and content from TSR JTT. But for now, my name's James Ivey, and I'll see you again very soon.